to the Knitting Samurai and Her Guys video podcast. I'm your host, Steph, also known as the Knitting Samurai, and this is episode 123. I know, 1, 2, 3. Choose your own texture is what I'm calling this week's show. So, and I'm gonna knit a little bit while we chat here because you're not the only one who gets to knit. I want to knit too. So how has it been? It's been about, I think, almost 10 days exactly since we last spoke, and I'll have lots of ramblings about our carpeting adventures to share with you. But in the meantime, let's talk about texture. So it's been an interesting 10 days since we last spoke for me in my knitting, in that I have one project that is stockinette stitch. I have one project that was ribbed. I have one project that's garter stitch and one project that's moss stitch. So I've pretty much walked around every day or every knitting opportunity saying, what do I feel like knitting? What am I in the mood for right now? So it's just an interesting story of texture to me. And normally, normally I would have projects on the needles more based on the finished results, so a sock, a shawl, maybe a baby project, something like that, thinking along those lines. But to think about it in terms of textures, in terms of how engaged with my stitches, with my work, do I want to be moving the yarn back and forth, or do I just want to autopilot and do garter or stockinette stitch? So it's been fun. So something to consider for your own knitting, you know, busting it out and thinking about it in terms of texture instead of projects. So first up on the needles is my 2010 cardigan. So this is by Vera Baccanelli, and carrying it in a giant tote bag, and I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to be able to show to you. So this is a bottom up cardigan, short sleeve cardigan, asymmetrical front with a big cowl, if you can picture that. I am using Valley Yarns Northampton Bulky for mine in the fawn colorway. So here's this. It's more portable folded. And since we last saw it, I split off for the armholes, and then I knit the two front panels. And I was worried a little bit when I looked at this laying out flat on the table earlier, that the neck both seemed to go away, but then I realized there's some shaping in here, and that's what's causing it to happen. Like there are decreases in the chest, so, or below, but whatever. So it is asymmetrical. It goes up and across, and then the big cowl folds over. I think it's gonna be just beautiful. I had been doing my just an inch a day, and I slowed down a little bit on that, just when it became too cumbersome to carry this thing around, and it's still big and bulky, but the sun decided to help me out, and we've had weather in the low 60s every day this week. So I've been sneaking out at lunchtime to my car so I don't have to carry this big giant bag in with me every day, doing my hour of knitting in the car and then coming back in. So I was able to, like I said, to finish both of the front panels, so lots of stitches on holders, just using cotton yarn for that. And then I am working my way up the back. So you can see I'm about 4 inches up from the back, split off of the armholes. And so far so good. I don't have any errors in my moss stitch. I've caught it every time I get into a ribbing rhythm where it's like, oh no, I've got 3 stacked up, that's too many. So I've always caught it in the row I'm on, and I'm able to just rip back the few stitches that I need to get there. Yeah, I'm gonna finish it just in time for it to be 70 degrees here in New Hampshire and not be able to wear it, but that's okay. It'll be a great, either late, I'm thinking we might have to go sit on the back patio and drink our wine out there after the boys go to bed a few nights after this is finished, just so I can wear it in the cool weather. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying this sweater. Again, the pattern super clear. I feel like it's going to be a little bit big for me, but that's fine. It's more of a jacket styling for me. So, and I'm starting to daydream about what my next sweater is going to be for me, because, you know, I'm really enjoying this. And the way this looks, separate, the way from next sweater, sidebar, the way this looks all folded up, I think it's just gorgeous. And if I were crazy, I would make a moss stitch baby blanket with this, because it's just It's lovely. It is. But instead I'm going to wear it on my body, and I'm sure I will appreciate it way more than a little person would. So, yeah, so next sweater. Everybody's out there working on the, I'm not going to be able to say it, but the lacy cardigan Hede of Hope, I don't know. Shannon of Minerva Turkey is knitting one, and I think Amy, no, not Amy, Megan knit one from Stockinette Zombies. Everybody's knitting this. But I don't feel like a lace cardigan. But I would like to knit something lightweight. So, I don't know. Thinking. If you're knitting something that you think is awesome, let me know. Maybe I'll want to knit it too. I can be quite a follower. So, and that is on size 8 needles, which is a 5mm and very huge needle. But again, the moss stitch makes it go so slow. So hopefully next time I'll have finished the body. I'm sure I will. I can't wait to do the cowl. I think it's going to be fun joining all the pieces together around the neck and then going up, and just because that's the big main detail to me when I think about what distinguishes this pattern from others. It's this big flowing cowl. So it's coming. And you know what else is finished? Mountain Pearl, you ready? Movie theater socks. So these are done and off my needles. They're on the blockers, but I do need to soak them and leave in my hands, and then they'll be ready to go. So if I don't have your address, can you send it to me? And if I do, then I'll get it to you sooner rather than later. I'll try. I have to apologize to everyone who's won prizes from me in the last 2 months. I have been ridiculously bad at getting to the mail, and I don't even get to the mail. I send Steve. But I've been bad at packaging things up, so I think in the future, prize drawings are going to need to be patterns, because I am just not getting that together. But everything I owe people has been mailed, so that's great. But back to these socks. So this is Patton's Croy, and I checked my dye lots because, can you tell? They are not the same socks. Yeah, I checked my dye lot. I started from the center of both balls, both skeins, and I thought I lined up my toes pretty well, right? The blue-purple section into the violet-purple section, and I knit these. I think it took me 2 or 3 months to finish these from start to finish, and so there was some time in between, and it wasn't until after I turned the second heel that I realized, whoa, this was the first heel. Great, it's a nice light purple into the leg. Then I turned this one, and it's like, what's this sharp, actually it was the front that gave it away. What's this sharp blue contrast right here in my changing colors? Where did that come from? And then I realized that the striping sequence is not, they're reversed. They were not wound the same way, the same direction. So even though, like, if I line up the blues, anyways, I can tell. I hope you don't mind, Mountain Pearl, but at least the toes of the feet sort of line up. No, they don't even. I'm holding them together. I don't know how I missed it. Well, I wouldn't have caught it. The reason I missed it is because, like, this blue section is bracketed by 2 violet, dark violet sections. So you could start with the dark purple or the, my words, they're not being articulate, but they're close enough, and they're not really harsh striping. It's not a harsh transition yarn. It's more of a gradual yarn, so I'm thinking it's not really going to matter. Like, looking at them right now, if I just quickly glance at them, I don't see it. I know it's there, but I don't see it. And the tops ended in similar color sections, so. But they're very nice. They're very dense. They were knit on US 2s. No, US 0s, 2.25mm needles, and I did Wendy Johnson's slip stitch heel basic sock, which is my favorite pattern, with a 2x2 rib. I'm sorry for swaying. I won't sway. Office chairs, you know, it's hard not to do it. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say. And I finished these up last night at 10:30. I was watching The Voice. Do you watch The Voice? I watched it a while ago, like probably 2 summers ago. I watched it. CeeLo was on. CeeLo and I think Shakira were the hosts, and Michelle should have won, but she didn't. young country girl one. Anyways, so I haven't watched it since. Like, my mom and I watched it that summer. I'm not even going to try and make that be a smooth transition. So I just recorded a whole podcast and realized that the camera shut off. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But let's jump back. All right, I'll put this down. Where was I? Let's talk about Tristan's dinner napkins. So as you recall, I'm using Grandma's dishcloth pattern, and I'm using Lily's Sugar and Cream Ombre to knit these. I had finished one. Well, that's the first one. You saw this last time. I'm, as I always do, experimenting with the size. So I knit this. You cast on 4 stitches, free pattern on wrap. Cast on 4 stitches, increase up to 44, and then decrease back down, doing yarn overs on the edges. And it's big for my hand. So, and I used more than half of the skein. And one of those sugars and cream skeins should get you 2 of these dishcloths. So I cast on a second one, and I only went up to 42 stitches, but I still wasn't going to have enough. So I ran out to Joann's and got a complementary color. So this teal color is already in there. What a surprise, I bought teal. And I striped that in at a couple points just to extend the length of my yarn and make it a little bit different and interesting. So this is literally the end of the skein. That was all I had left, so I timed that out pretty well. So going forward, because I am going to knit quite a few more of these, I'll go up to 42 stitches and see if that uses half a skein or not. This skein that I got is an extra large. It's really big, so I don't know. I probably will be able to get 3 dishcloths out of this. So one of them is already finished, and that one I did at the 42 stitch size. And you could see the difference in the size if I hold them up and see how much longer. So yeah, that would eat quite a bit more yarn. So there's that, and then I have a 4th one on the needle right now. So those are going along, you know. That's my garter stitch project, if we're talking about the texture. Yeah, it's mindless. It's actually been my laying in bed watching TV knitting. So there's that. What else do I have to show you? Okay, so I have been not really working on my Tristan's Barn Raising quilt, which is by Shelley Mackey and Larissa Brown. Everyone and their brother is knitting one of these, but they are so addictive. The squares really are. But also knowing that I'm going to knit 30 of them for the blanket, and I've had such a hard time with the color choices on this, and I've knit so many squares that are not going to be for real squares that, case in point, this one right here. But this is going to be, I'm going to put this one into my stock yarn blanket, my blanket, and this yarn, I'm going to use the 90% of the skein that's left, and knit a pair of socks next. That's next on the needles. But I had such a hard time that it's been a discouraging project, and I'm not that motivated to work on it anymore. To be honest, I've completed, I have it, 16 squares, which is the same as last week. I didn't finish any extras, but of those 16, I think I'm only using 10 or 11. So, and really my mojo for knitting a slow slog project is really all being focused in on the sweater right now. I'm enjoying that, and that's where I want to be. Even though these squares can be gratifying because you do finish them so quickly, I still know that in the back of my mind I'm going to knit, 5 more in this color, and so it doesn't feel as gratifying as the one-off. Let me finish off this piece of scrap yarn. And it is a bit of a reward to be like, yes, I used every last inch of this skein of yarn that I knit a pair of socks with, and now it's gone poof, out of my stash, versus Tristan's, which is more of an intended blanket. So I'm taking a full skein and knitting 5 or 6 squares out of it. Until I knit that last square, I'm not going to get that feeling either. So, but the progress that was made on this blanket was that, you'll recall last time I ordered some yarn from Leading Men Fiber Arts and Fiber Knit Dye Works. The Leading Men arrived. So I got a skein of, or I got 2 skeins of dipping sauce in Showstopper, which is their 75-25 merino nylon blend. And you can see the variation, or at least I can, in the color already. So I can't wait to get the 2 squares that are going on right now off my needles so that I can cast this on and see the yellow play. And I think it's gonna look lovely next to this. Do I have a finished one? Yes. Yes, right? Right? I finally found it. I finally found my 3rd color. So that came, but it didn't come alone. No, because you can't place an order for just one thing. If you're gonna pay for shipping, you have to buy a few things. And that's the basis of why I have such a large stash. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they're doing, their Leading Man Fiber Arts is doing the new colorway every month, and you'll be able to order it afterwards. So it's just an unveiling of a new color, or if it's a limited edition color. I don't remember that, but this was the March color, and it's called Boyhood. I just think it's so pretty. It's like a subtle, it's a mellow version of all my favorite colors. So I couldn't resist this. I thought it would make a really pretty shawl. I wanted it somewhere up here in this general area. So I got that on Showstopper, and then this called my attention, right? Like classy and subdued, neon 80s. This one is called New Day, and it's also in the Showstopper. It's teal. Come on, that's my number. You get me. You get me with the teals. So I ordered that as well. Thinking about new and upcoming, I have some babies, not for me, but there are 2 little girls of acquaintances coming into the world. So I know them well enough to knit them baby hats. So I want to do that. The first one I'm thinking about is a free pattern by Tin Can Knits. It's called I Heart Rainbows. And I have some, what weight yarn is this? It's sock weight yarn. I don't think, I have the White Birch Fiber Arts. It's a rainbow type yarn, but it's black with rainbow. I have some, I don't know, we'll see if I use a self-striping or not. That's where my head is gone. But I think that's really cute. I'd like it in white, I think, white with the rainbows on top. So that's up and coming. I haven't had anything new in so long that I'm kind of feeling guilty. It's like, here are my squares, here's stockinette, here's garter. Like, yeah, it's interesting because of the texture, but maybe not so interesting for you. So I'm also thinking about knitting one of the Little Night Newborn pads. Tristan had one of these in a cotton wool blend, and it was great for summer baby. He wore it all the time. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. So I think I'll do another one of those. And a swirl hat. So this is the other one that he used a lot when he was a wee guy. I have some notes I'm trying not to share with you. So swirl hat. So those are both fingering weight, child size. Yeah, that's on 3s, and the Little Night is on 4s. So they should be pretty quick knits, and I have some sock yarn I want to get on the needles. I'm thinking 100% merino is probably where I'm going to go with those for non-knitters. Baby gifts. Oh no! Stitch marker down! I can't just leave it, guys. I can't. It's purple. I love it. Oh. Ha! I see it. I got it. Can you see it? I don't know if it's a beacon one or not, but I love it. So can't lose that. So get that back on here. Right now, while yep, perfect. Sometimes on the Barn Raising Quilt Squares, I get a little bit off. I'm missing yarn over, but that's easy to fudge. So, okay, what was I talking about? Future things that I'm thinking about. I have something big. So I put out some feelers, and you guys told me what you thought, and then I completely spaced on it, but I remembered it this time. So let's swap. Let's do a swap. It seems like the group would be mostly interested in either Barn Raising Quilt Square swaps or mini skein swaps. So I thought we could combine the 2. Here's what I'm thinking. 2 options. Okay, you sign up and you say if you would like 1 barn raising quilt square and 3 mini skeins, or that's option A, or if you would like 4 mini skeins. And by mini skeins, I'm thinking 20 grams each, because it takes about 16 to 18 grams for me to knit a square, so 20 will give us enough room that we're safe. And let's swap. So between now and April 30th, sign up, and then I'll assign partners that weekend, May 1st. May 1st, 2nd, you should hear. And then the goal is to gather up about $10 worth of goodies besides the yarn and besides the cost of shipping, put it in a cute little package, and ship it off to your swap partner. I'd like to get discussion going, maybe make some friends out on the thread, get to know people we don't necessarily know very well, so that when the mini skeins arrive, they have a little more meaning, you know, it was my swap partner, my buddy. Yeah, so feel free to chat around that thread. Go sign up over there on the raft board. And I've put in some questions about, you know, what's your favorite TV show? Do you like coffee or tea? Lotions? What else did I put in there? Anything you collect? Just a few prompts to get us discussing. Oh, hey, I like that too. Or give the person who's swapping with you ideas of what to get for you, because who doesn't love a custom tailored package sent just to them? I mean, I love the ideas of the favorite places, favorite things, or local stuff, but it is nice to get a package that's just for you specifically. So, and yeah, so how's that sound? Sound fun? Did I say mail them by May 30th? So we'll have a month to order something from Etsy, go to your LYS, get a little gadget, something fun just to throw in, and yeah, I think it'll be nice. So if you are interested, go over and sign up to swap. I think I should sticky it at the top. I don't think I did, and I think I will. Yeah, and that's it. Ooh. I hope you're as excited as I am. We haven't done a swap in the group in a very long time, probably 1.5 years. So it'll be nice to get one going again. Yeah, I think we're moving into talking about what's going on with me. So what has been going on? We got new carpets. I told you that. That was exciting. During the midst of it, moving all the furniture downstairs, we got a phone call from daycare that Tristan had a temperature and has to go home. And our daycare is 24 hours fever-free, so if you get sent home at 2 on a Thursday, that's it, you're done for the week. So he was home on Friday while the carpeting guys were there, and it could have been worse. He had a sick little baby. I was trying to keep him out of the dust and all that as much as I could, and, you know, going for a lot of car rides so he could nap. Luckily that still works for him. I know we will get to a point where he does not take car naps, but for now he still does. So that happened. My brother-in-law came to visit. It was nice to see him. He brought the boys lots and lots of t-shirts, so he travels a lot for work. I want to say a different place, probably 30 different city, probably 30 or 40 times a year. Like, he is always traveling. He was on a 3-week long stint, and wherever he goes, he'll send a postcard or he'll get the boys a t-shirt. So this last time he went to Hawaii. I know, pretty nice. He's got a good job. So he was here last week and he'll be back next week. So Roland is always happy to see him and play. Tristan, sorry, he's just happy with everybody. I know, I want people to feel special, but he just freaks out and gets so excited whenever he sees anybody. He is definitely a little extroverted guy. I don't know if he'll outgrow that or not, but he is. What else? I'm trying to think if Roland did anything particularly adorable this week. I don't know, he got a haircut, and that just makes me look at him and go, oh, you look so old, my baby. I'm starting that mommy line. Yeah, so anything with me? No, I'm loving my fitness pal. I think I told you guys all about it already. It's been a little over 3 weeks and I'm down 11 pounds, so I'm pleased with myself for that. The baby weight is officially gone. Those last 9 pounds held on from last summer, so they're gone. I'm back in my pre-pregnancy jeans, which is great. I was so excited to share that on Instagram one day this week. Yeah, and Steve's running lots of races. That's become his thing lately. I don't know. He's into that. And yeah, pretty much just enjoying early spring, you know, those warm days. They're creeping up on us. So for now, I think that's it. And I'll see you in about 10 days or so, and we'll catch up again on knitting. Hopefully I have more sweater progress and new socks and some baby hats and all kinds of fun things to share. So go sign up for the swap. I would love to swap with you. All right, I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye. You got it. You did it.